Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and salam sejahtera. My name is Munira Azrai. I'm a senior lecturer from Academy of Language Studies. I'm teaching Arabic language and I'm from UiTM Cawangan Johor, campus Segamat. This research paper entitled Exploring the Accessibility of Digital Learning Contents on Constructing Arabic Sentences for UiTM undergraduate third language students. It is a research studied and written by me myself and the other four members. They are Farhana Idris, Nurida Sain, Nur Aini Arifin and Hanifa Musa Fatwa Harun. My presentation today will cover the four areas of the research study. Starting with the introduction, followed by the research methodology and the results, and finally the conclusions. So I would like to begin with an introduction. It consists of problem statement, the significance of the studies, research question, and research objectives. Currently, Malaysia's education system have had to shift very quickly to new modes of online learning in response to the pandemic of COVID-19. It was a big learning curve for all universities, including UiTM, as teaching and learning moved to digital platforms. As for UiTM, an approach called Open and Distance Learning, ODL, was projected to embrace these new learning environments. This situation affects not only the lecturers, but also the students. They are also adjusting themselves to these new learning environments where they are expecting to drive their own academic journey in order to achieve the learning objectives. Here comes the urgency need of developing digital instructional contents and materials in order to assist students in achieving their educational goals. In teaching and learning Arabic as a third language in UiTM, the educators are doing a great job to embrace this transformation from traditional form of lecture to fully utilize digital resources that can enhance students' learning abilities. Now moving on to the significance of the study, one of the most important skills that UiTM third language undergraduate students need to master is to be able to construct grammatically correct Arabic sentences. Therefore, there is a critical need to explore the accessibility of digital learning contents on constructing Arabic sentences to seek any positive implication from bringing into use and practice among students. The research aims to answer these three questions. The first question is, how far is digital learning contents on constructing Arabic sentences are available online? The second question is, are the digital learning contents that are available online fully utilize modern technologies? And the last question, are the digital learning contents that are available online usable and aligned with students' learning objectives? Thus, the purpose of the study is to explore the availability of digital learning contents on constructing Arabic sentences, also to explore the use of modern technologies in developing the contents, and last but not least, to investigate the practicality and the usability of the contents to promote better understanding on constructing Arabic sentences among UiTM undergraduate students. Now, let's move on to research methodology that consists of sample, instrument, and data analysis. A total number of 83 students from two UiTM campuses, Segamat and Rembau, agreed to partake in this study. The participants were all UiTM undergraduate students from degree program who are enrolled in three Arabic courses, namely TAC 401, TAC 451, and TAC 501. The questionnaires was administered to collect the data It consists of two parts. Part A, the demographic background, and Part B is a self-rating questionnaires on 5 Likert scale from 1, strongly disagree, to 5, strongly agree. This self-rating questionnaires focusing on the students' opinions upon the accessibility of digital learning contents on constructing Arabic sentences. The data were then analyzed using IBM SPSS version 26. The information are presented in percentage and table of frequency for demographic background. As for self-rating questionnaires, the information are presented in mean score and along with the standard deviation. Now let's move on to the results. This part of presentation will elaborate the findings and the discussion. As shown in the chart and the graph, majority of the participants were female with 85.5%, and majority of the participants were from TAC 501, and also majority of the participants from BA 242. The self-rating questionnaire consists of 15 items. As mentioned before, it is a survey focusing on students' opinion toward the accessibility of digital learning contents on constructing Arabic sentences. And overall mean score for these 15 items will be discussed further under discussion. The result presents multiple views on the perspective for the accessibility of the contents, and the most important of which is the perspective of availability. For the most part, the participants strongly agree that the contents are available online and the number of resources are many, and also the contents are accessible by all online platforms. An overall mean score of 4.5 was obtained for this perspective. From the perspective of the practicality of the contents, a moderate agreement of 3.8 mean score was obtained for this perspective. As a conclusion, the students felt that the content should incorporate adaptive learning functionality, and it should be usability and align with their learning objectives, as well as the content should be measurable. From the perspective of incorporating modern technologies, it is average below 2.5 of a mean score. So this situation highlights the urgency need for current Arab educators to follow, track, and keep updated with the rapid development of modern technologies, so that the content will be up to date and attractive as well as engaging. Now we have reached to the final area of the presentation, that is the conclusion. So in this part, we will cover the suggestion and recommendations. To conclude, the study ends with some recommendation and suggestion for future Arabic practitioners in teaching and learning Arabic language. We have highlighted 4 recommendations, and the first one is it is suggested to develop digital learning content focusing purely and solely on Arabic sentences, and if possible, create subject-specific resources on Arabic sentence that are exclusively designed for your ATM undergraduate students. Number 3, incorporating the never has been seen before attractive features that will generate an amusement in learning, and will encourage students of all ages to learn and explore the practicality of the contents. And last but not least, the content should include tips and guidelines in promoting better understanding of the appropriate word order when constructing Arabic sentences. With that, I end my presentation. Thank you very much and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.